Hey Floss Tube, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher. It's November 26th. I came back to show you some Christmas things. Um, this may be a really kind of quick video. I'm going to show you some of the things that I have finished and that I'd like to stitch. I don't know, Christmas is coming in fast and furious. I hope y'all had a nice Thanksgiving. We did. Right now, I apologize if the lighting is really bad. It is really a crummy day today in Florida. I mean, it's a good day. It's always a good day. Every day's good, but the weather is really yucky. It's rainy, lightning. It's the kind of weather from living in the Midwest that if you looked outside and didn't know the temperature, you'd think it was about ready to snow. Because it's that overcast, stormy, lightning, thunder. There's thunder now. And extremely humid. It's probably high 60s, low 70s. So it's a day to stay inside and stitch or quilt or whatever you decide to do. We had a nice Thanksgiving. Only one bad thing, and that is that I burned myself. Can you see my burn? I'm thinking it should be an advertisement for Nike. It looks like the swoosh. Just do it. I tried some new recipes this year. I was kind of excited to do that. I think I know I have gotten in a rut and fixed the same things year after year. So Kitten Stitcher mentioned her, I think it's a family recipe for stuffing or dressing, whatever you call it. I think it's on her blog called Out of the Bird or Outside the Bird Stuffing. And so I made that, but I made it with gluten-free bread because I have celiac, so I have to eat gluten-free. And it was excellent. So I highly recommend it. It was really, really good. Also made her pumpkin muffins with gluten-free flour. So that turned out great too. So that kind of makes it exciting. When you change it up a little bit, and you have some different things in the menu. Tomorrow is mine and my husband's anniversary. We were actually married the Saturday. It was at the year, which is 36 years ago. It was Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we were both in retail, and most of our friends were in retail. And they were like, are you guys nuts? You get married like right after Thanksgiving? That's like the busiest weekend of retail. Yeah, I know. Anyway, same man, 36 years. And we've been in the same house for 28 and a half years. So I guess you just keep going, as long as it takes, you just keep going. His way of saying happy anniversary is I get up and it's usually a screensaver on the big computer that's his big Apple computer, and it says however many years and counting, happy anniversary. You could just tell me that, but that's okay. Anyway, we'll probably get our tree tomorrow. I have done zero decorating, so sometimes it's just to get all the stuff out, and we don't have basements, so everything's in storage. So then you got to get all the stuff out of storage. So sometimes it's kind of a process. And so I'll start tomorrow and we'll see how long it takes me. So anyway, but I did want to show you some of my Christmas things, and some of these, not all of them, but some of them I have on the walls year round because they're just ones that I really like. I spent a lot of time doing them. They're framed. And then I'll show you some Christmas smalls. I have some ornaments. I don't have a lot of ornaments. I don't have any to show you because I haven't unloaded all the decorations for the tree yet. But we kind of had a disaster a few years ago. We used to store a lot of stuff in the garage, and I can't remember if it was because of a hurricane or what, but we had a leak in our garage, and so some of the things got wet. And we didn't know that till wanted to put them up for Christmas, and then one of the boxes of ornaments had gotten wet. So I threw out a lot of old ornaments that I had made, which, yes, I shed tears. That was hard. But anyway, so I've not really replaced that many. I've done ornaments as gifts, but not that many that I kind of go along with Kitten Stitcher. She said she had prairie schooler envy. I'm sort of the same way. I tend to do a lot of big projects, and the smalls that I do, I usually put them in a dough bowl or whatever. So I really would like to, 2019, to at least do just at least 6 of the prairie schooler ornaments, because I think that would be a good goal. So anyway, let me go ahead and show you. I also have some things that I've recently finished, not necessarily Christmas. And I want to show you the rest of what I bought when I was at Country Sampler. And just start right now. So the first one I want to show you is, this is Prairie Schooler. No, why did I say that? This is Plum Street Samplers. And this is Yuletide Welcome to the, or Yuletide Welcome, I guess is what it's called. I didn't get out all these patterns, mainly because I just wanted to do a quick video and I didn't have time to go through all of that. So Yuletide Welcome, Plum Street Samplers, and this is actually, there's a companion piece to this that's called Ghoultide. That's a Halloween piece. And I actually have that kitted. I was hoping to start that this year, but I'll start it next year. The next one is Stacy Nash. And this one is Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. I absolutely love this piece. I did this last year, maybe 2017. Anyway, I had it framed last year. I don't know. The years all run together. But this is one of my very favorite, and I love this border. I just think it's just a beautiful piece. I'm pretty sure I did the called for colors and floss. One of the things Stacy Nash tells you is after you stitch it to use the walnut crystals, but I used overdyed floss, which I think it called for, and I haven't tried that on a piece yet. And when I do, I think I talked about that last time. When I do, I want to make sure that I try it on a piece where I've soaked the flosses so that all the extra color comes out. Because I do have a piece that's not framed, and I absolutely love it, but I had spilled some wine on it, and right away I put it under the sink to try to get the wine out, and it has a lot of reds, and so it has some bleed areas. It's not real noticeable, but I don't want to risk that on a piece that I've spent a lot of time on like that. So, well, or any piece for that matter. The next one is Christmas Garden. This is kind of a heavy piece. I love this frame that I had on, that they put on this. This is a big piece. I want to say this was like 30 count. I'm not sure, but it's pretty big. And this was the called for colors. I know a lot of people have asked if I used the called for on this, and I did. There's a color for the red that's called Calico Kitty. I think it's Classic Colorworks. I'm not sure. But it has a lot of variegation. It goes from almost a tan or a brown all the way to a red. And when I first started stitching it, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. And I thought about even using, because I used 2 strands, using one strand of the floss going one way and then the other strand going the other way. So if it went from red to tan, then the second strand would go from tan to red. Is that clear? But I didn't like that either. I stitched a couple stitches and I was like, no, I don't like that either. It started to look kind of heathery and I didn't want that. So I just went by what they called for. And I'm so happy with it. I just think it turned out beautiful. And this I do leave up year round. Um, One of the things I did on this was I used the initials starting with my mother's mother, so that would be my grandmother, of the females. And there was my grandmother, and she did have sisters, but I didn't put any great aunts. So I put my grandmother's initials here, and then I put my mother's initials here. I always think that's confusing too. Do you put their maiden name? Do you put their married name? I did put my mom's married name initials. And then my mom had my sister and I, so I put my sister's initials and my initials. And then I had one daughter, so I put my daughter's initials. At the time, my daughter was pregnant with her firstborn, which is a boy. And so since I was only doing females, I thought, okay, well, I'll go ahead and finish it. But then since then, she had a little girl, which I would love to have Camille's initials on here too, but I haven't figured out whether to take it apart. I really don't want to take it apart. So I don't know. I might just add something on the back or something. So anyway, so it has my grandmother's, my mother's. My mother she wasn't an only child, but she was the only girl. And then my sister and I, and then my daughter. So I love that. That's very much one of my very favorite pieces. It's also heavy. The next one that I did, time really does fly. Because I did this one in 2015. I had no idea I did this one that long ago. And I probably started it a year before I finished it. But this is called Noel. Pretty sure it's Noel. It's by With Thy Needle and Thread. I did it on 40 count, and I hadn't done a whole lot of 40 count at the time. But I thought it turned out really nice. I love the red house. There are some mistakes in it, but in quilting we say if you point it out, you got to take it out. But so I won't point them out. But yeah, this is one of my very favorites. It's just classic. It's just a classic design. Brenda Gervais really has a talent of putting motifs and things together. So that's Noel by With Thy Needle and Thread. The last one was Christmas Garden by Blackbird. Did I say that? I'm going to make sure I keep up with what I'm doing. This next one isn't necessarily Christmas, but I love the colors, and it's all reds and greens. This is Frances Poole, and this is by With Thy Needle and Thread too. And this has kind of a teal to it, teal color green. But I should date more of these, and I don't. I'm kind of weird about that. If it has a place for initials and date, not like this, that's a reproduction, but like if it's a Blackbird and it has Barb Adams, BA, and the year, then I will put mine instead of that. But if it's a reproduction, I usually put whatever the original was. And ideally, it would be great, and I should do this, is to put stickers or something on the back that, would have the information on it. I'm pretty sure I used the called for. So this is Frances Poole, With Thy Needle and Thread. I just love these big urns, and this was really fun. That was a fun stitch. The last two had green frames. I hardly ever use colored frames. I almost always use natural wood. And by the way, you guys are probably going to ask, this one right here is Sarah Elizabeth Brooke by Scarlet House. And I did that one, I think last year I did that one. The next one, this is Christmas, Merry Christmas, Ella Vaughn. This is a series, it says 9 family history patterns. I don't know if they actually did 9. But it was a series of houses that Blackbird Designs did. And I have all of them. My daughter actually stitched one she has in her house. And she put my initials and the year that I would have been 12. And I think she put age 12. Now, I didn't do it when I was 12. But she wanted everybody to think I did, I guess. Anyway, this is not fully framed. This is my, stuck in a frame. But I put my my grandfather's mother, and she was born in 1866, Laura Field. So the reason I haven't fully framed this, I really think this frame is not right. This is a pre-sized frame, like for a photograph. And I think it needs to be a lot tighter. So I really think I'd like to have it custom framed. But I put it up for now. I finished it last year right at the end of December, or right before Christmas. So I just went and got a white frame. But the more I look at it, it looks kind of lonely sitting in that big frame. I don't mind like half an inch. Sometimes an inch even seems too big to me. I don't usually frame super tight, but like I love the way this one is. Maybe ½ inch, 3/4 inch. I think for me works good. So, okay, I'm going to interject something. It's completely off the subject, but back to Thanksgiving. I've had so many people ask about this one because I had it set in here in my last video. This is Feast of Friendship by Blackbird. And I pointed this out, I think, when I did my fall one, my fall smalls, I think is the name of that video. But I forgot to tell you that I changed this because it's called Feast of Friendship. And I wasn't really giving this to anybody. I'm kind of like my own friend. I mean, if you don't have friends, you can make up yourself as a friend. No, I have friends. But so I changed it to Blessings Abound because to me this is sort of like a cornucopia. I mean, it's not, but it kind of reminded me of a cornucopia. And so, it looks to me like, you're full of blessings. And the Blackbird pattern does have multiple shades of blue for this house. So it's not like it's just a variegated. But I had a lot of people ask about that, so I wanted to make sure I covered that. I have something, and I can't find it. I know I did this last year because I remember all these little deer along here. I may have given it as a gift, but I don't usually put the pattern away when I've given it as a gift because I think, well, I might want to stitch it for myself. If I find it by Christmas, my nose is itching. Doesn't that just happen when you're videoing? Okay. So anyway, I did that last year. That was Plum Street, Pomegranate Santa. Hopefully I can find it by Christmas. I'm going to try to do... People ask, oh, give me a tour of your house. I think you'd be underwhelmed. Our house was built in the 70s. It's a ranch-style house. It has living room, dining room when you first walk in, one big room. And then a second area of the house where the kitchen and the family room. Well, my family room is all long arm. So nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. It's just a workroom. And messy most of the time. And then my then you go down the hall and there's our bedrooms. So, I really have this big first room, and it's not huge. It's not like a great room that I decorate. So, I'm sorry. I've been quilting today, so I think I have batting up my nose. Let's see, batting up my nose. Buns. There's an acronym for everything. Okay, so this one is Kringle and Willard. And this is by Plum Street. And I think he's adorable. I think he's adorable. Now, this is another one that I stuck in a frame, but I love the frame. This fits. And this is a pre-made, I think it's a 5x7 opening. Now, I changed the color for that, for the sheep, the lamb, whatever. I want to say it was like galvanized or something like that. And when I did it, you could not see. There's like quilt sawtooth stars in there. And you couldn't see any of that. It would just completely blend it in to the color of his body or his hair or fur, wool. One of the above. Anyway, so I changed it, and I'm happy I did because it looks a lot better. Isn't he cute? That's just adorable. Kringle and Willard. And then this one is 1831 Christmas by Plum Street. And I love this one too. This one I used 2 different colors of floss to do the cording around the edge. But those poinsettias, I just like that. So 1831 Christmas. These came out, I think this came out last year. This I just stuffed with fiberfill. And then I have this one, which is called Snow for Christmas. Snow for Christmas by With Thy Needle and Thread. Another cute Santa. Isn't he adorable? Riding a sheep and pulling a snowman. Oh, I think he's so cute. I just put some red striped on the back. Okay, I have a few more. This one is, this has walnut shells, so it's kind of squishy. This is a Blackbird design. There's a couple people on Instagram that are stitching this. I don't know what I did with the pattern, so I can't remember the name of it. I don't know. But I want to say it's like Truly Thine or something. If y'all know the name of this pattern, that would be great to put it in the comments. But he's cute. Has a few beads. This one I usually just sit around. These I know I put in a dough bowl with, Christmas greenery and stuff. This one is another Blackbird, and this one is called To All a Good Night, I think. I loaned the pattern to somebody, so I don't have the pattern. But it's really cute, and it has the pineapple. The bricks were fun. Some people might not think that was fun, but I thought it was fun. I like doing bricks. I could be a bricklayer. Anyway, so that was fun. And then I have a couple things. This is an old piece. I decorate this with for Christmas every year because it's classic red and green, but it's kind of dated looking to me because of the mats. I have no idea who that's by. Could be Cross-Eyed Cricket. Could be. It's old. This was a gift that our stitching group. This was a gift someone gave me. It was in my stitching group. I think this is Little House Needleworks. I think it's called Two Red Houses. It's not specifically Christmas, but it looks very Christmas to me. I love that. Everybody in our stitching group knows that I love red houses. This was another gift. Plum Pudding, I'm not, and she put velveteen on the back. It's just wonderful, soft. I'm not sure the name of that pattern, but I can find out because I know who did it. Isn't that cute? Has all the little motifs in here. I just think that's adorable. Plum Pudding. This was another gift. This was what I got last year from my stitchy. When we do, when our stitching group does our Christmas exchange, we draw names and then we have that person, you know, we draw names like in January and then we have all year to stitch something. I've kind of gotten in the habit of giving quilts because so many of them don't quilt. But I always get. So the one with the two red houses, I think I got that year before last. And then this one I got last year. This was actually a freebie from Plum Street. I want to say it was 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago. And she shared it on her blog. And she probably still has it on her blog. And it's various, she gives you various parts. Like I think at first you get the border and then you can, but it's baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph. It says God with us. Which I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, here's a little bit of trivia. This is a piece that was, I think it was gifted to me. I don't remember. I didn't make it myself. I know that. So Brenda Gervais, her sister is Sandy Gervais. Sandy designs for Moda Fabric. Brenda used to do a lot of this kind of thing. Wool applique, cotton applique, punch needle, dolls. She had a lot of dolls. And her name at the time was Country Stitches, which is why if you go to her website is Country Stitches Online. So she used to do a lot of this kind of thing. So this was one of the things somebody made from one of her patterns. I love that angel. I also love the idea of putting hinges. You know, how cute is that? You could hang it. I usually put it on an easel, but you could hang it by that. Isn't that cute? Adorable. This one is really, really old. I'm pretty sure this came out of a magazine. Country Cross Stitch or Cross Stitching Country Crafts. It's done on Ada, 1987. But by 88, I was doing pieces on linen, so maybe there was a time between there that I did both. Because once I started on linen, I have done very little on Ada. I still like it, I just haven't done very much on it. But that little boy pulling his dog on a sled is just the cutest thing. And to me, this is kind of timeless. And I'm glad back in the day that I didn't mat that. Nothing against mats. If you like them, you like them. This is a pillow that I did years ago. And I think I showed a patriotic one. This gal, I Done My Best, was the name of her company. And that's just embroidery with all those funky little stars. Isn't he a cute little snowman? I think he's adorable. Okay, so let's see where I am on my list of stuff I'm going to talk about. Okay, I want to show you a couple finishes. And then I'll show you the rest of the stuff. And I'm sorry if I duplicate anything about my trip to Country Sampler because The ones that I didn't show you, I tried to put in a basket, but then I might have added stuff to the basket. My life's kind of crazy right now, so you'll have to just forgive me. That's all there is to it. Okay, so last time one of my whips was Halloween at Hollyberry Farm, and I showed you the Christmas one. And in my Americana video, I show you summer at Hollyberry. I always want to say Hollybrook, but it's Hollyberry. And so this is the pattern. It's by Stacy Nash. Oh, no, I lied. This is the Christmas one. Oh, I didn't know I got that out. So anyway, that's the Christmas one. This one is Halloween at Hollyberry. And I was working on this last time. Do you ever have pieces that you're like, you kind of push yourself to finish? I love this piece. So it's nothing against the design or anything. But once it got past Halloween, I kind of really had to push myself. But I was close enough to finishing it that I did. I pushed myself because the other thing about this fabric, and I showed it to you last time, it's 18th century rook, and it almost has a look, well, it's hard to tell. It almost looks like it's painted on the front. See, the back is a lot different than the front. Let's see. But here it is finished. And I finished it the other night. Can you see that? There we go. I really do like it a lot. I won't frame it till next summer or have it framed. But I think it's a great design, and I really, really like it. But like I said, I got to the point where it was like, all right, enough with the black and white. Let's move on. So I finished that the early part of last week. Well, I finished it on the day before Thanksgiving, I think. I'd have to look at my journal to tell you for sure. So then I thought, okay, what am I going to stitch next? And I have plenty of Christmas stuff, but I kind of wanted to get out a whip and just finish it. So I got out this, which is Blackbird design. And this didn't take me very long. I think I had it finished down to about here. And I did the rest of it in just a couple nights. And this is done on 32 count mellow. And I used one thread. And I had doubts because there's black, obviously. But when I show you the pattern, you can kind of tell that the original had that kind of light faded look. So it's in this In Friendship's Way book. I don't know if this is still available or not. But if you look at the antique, you can see it's not a lot of good coverage anyway. So I used one strand over 32 count mellow by Picture This Plus. And the name of this is actually 1861 Antique Sampler by Blackbird. And when you pull the colors for this, you're like, I don't know. I mean, it's like orange and pink. But it works. It works. It's really pretty. It's nice and small, too. It'll be a nice filler on the wall. Okay, let me show you. Oh, let's see. So I finished that last night. And then I finished that last night. And so I worked on that. I must have finished Hollyberry on Friday. Worked on that Saturday and Sunday. And then I picked up an old whip. It's a Scarlet House. I don't have a lot done on it, so I'll show you that next time if I get more done. But I want to first show you some of the things I got, the rest of the stuff from Country Sampler. I told you I had gotten some quilt kits, and some people had asked me. This one, it's kind of fall-ish colors or reproduction colors. And I love little small quilts, like small. Oops, can you see that? Oops, sorry. I know the lighting's bad. It's the weather today that's just a killer. So this is just a small quilt. It's this one back here. And it's made up of all those half square triangles. And it's actually called Hazel's doll quilt. There may be enough in there to do both quilts. There's a small one, and then this one. It's wrapped so nice, I didn't want to take it out. Isn't that cute? Love the colors. And then I got this one. This was called Pumpkin Bars. And I think I've said before, the Shop Girl quilts, those are gals at Country Sampler that do designing. And that's basically like a little rail fence, but it's another 20 by 26. I love that size quilt. One of these days I want to have, and I saw it somewhere, I've seen a couple people do it, where you get old wooden yardsticks and you put them like around the top of the room. I have shaker pegs up there. Can you see that? And I have those in a couple places in this room. We don't have any chairs hanging from it, although I would hang chairs from it. Husband think I was nuts. Maybe. Put the grandkids up there for time out. No, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't. Okay, so this one is Pumpkin Bars. That was the one I just showed you. Love the colors again. So that's two, and then I bought a third small quilt. This one, and this one is 22 by 22. So see, a lot of these are just really small. I like to put them on top of like end tables, and I mean, I like the look of it, but it's also like a giant coaster. You can throw these in the wash. So the colors on this are those. It's actually a black. It kind of looks navy, but it's a black and gray. We have all these to go with it. This one is called Miss B, M-I-S-S, Miss B. Isn't that cute? And then when I was on my trip, we also went to a store called JJ's quilt shop in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. And there I got a pattern, more baskets. I love that. And I bought, because I love reds, I bought a bunch of reds. These are fat quarters. Gotta arrange them just so. There's a couple more reds. Green. How wonderful is that? So that'll be fun. Okay, so let me show you the rest of my Country Sampler kits that I got. This one is called Garden Birds, and it's by Lottie Da. Here it is here. It's actually, it's like a needle book. He calls it a tool book. I don't know if you can see that. So you can put your scissors. So this is, one's the front and one's the back. And then you can put your scissors and all that good stuff in there, your tools, you know. And obviously I'll put my initials. So that's one. This is Heartstring Samplery. I think this came out at market this year. It's not big. And this one is a kit to make into like a little pillow. And there again, it has her conversion of, I think. I don't think that's the one. It might be what was called for. I haven't really. But it's called Thou God Seest Me. It's really cute. Just a little pillow. You know, more stuff to sit around. You know, people ask, what do you do with all this stuff? Decoration. This one is Betsy Snyder by, who's this by? Oh, yeah, Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And there again, this may be one that would be great to try the whole, you know, over dyeing it after. Because there's some strong color here, but other than that, most of this probably wouldn't bleed. I mean, I'd still soak it to make sure. I don't know if I showed you this last time, Blue Skin by Plum Street. I don't think this has been out a whole long time. And there again, it was a little pillow. Let's see the linen right. It's a natural kind of linen. Cute. Susanna Pratt. I don't know if I showed you that last time. She did totally different colors. Oh yeah, I think I did show you this one. Because it has those white flowers and they just pop on their version of it. In my last video, I think I showed that. And then I had a couple things that I got after I got home that were from Country Sampler. This is one of them, Christmas in My Heart, Sampler's Not Forgotten. And there again, there's their dull done version. I also have on order the new Blackbird, Merrily, Merrily We Welcome Spring. They were out of it, but coming, so excited. And this one, I love this. This is a band sampler with that tree. And there's a lot of stitches in there that I've never done before. I mean, a lot. But I think it sounds fun. Obviously, I'm not going to finish it this year because that looks a little bit tedious. But is that not gorgeous? That's gorgeous. It's just really pretty. So I want to do that for next year. And then this is the last one. This is what everybody and their brother's been talking about. If you watch Farm Girl, she has hers finished. There's a couple people on Facebook and Instagram. And this is the colors that the designer did, but Country Sampler changed up their colors. And I think Farm Girl said it best. You know, if a store or, you know, if somebody changes up the colors, you know, if I change a color, I'll tell you. That doesn't matter. But if a store changes their color and they're kind of known for that look, I kind of feel like it's not something I should share. Because you can order the pattern from them. The whole kit was $35.50. So, I mean, that's reasonable. Especially if you like make it into a pillow or a small where you don't have to pay for finishing. That's a deal. And then I got this one from, I didn't get this at Country Sampler, but I got this one all bundled up by Brenda Gervais. So I got all that. And I think that's all I have to say. I do want to thank everybody for subscribing. I have 3,000 subscribers, which is kind of crazy. My kids are like, what? What are you doing, Mom? And my daughter won't watch them. She's like, I can't watch them all. I just can't. So, you know, if I make something for her, I can show you because she won't be watching it. My son says he watches. But we'll see. He says, oh, you did another video? I didn't get a notification. Okay, whatever. I really don't care. And I get sort of embarrassed when people that I know, you know, like if I get together with our stitching group and they're like, oh, haven't you watched Carol's latest? And then they pull it up on their phone or something. I'm like, ah, I can't stand it. I mean, I'm okay doing them. And I guess when I think of people out in cyberspace watching it, that's okay. But there's something about people you know watch, especially in front of you, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, shut me off. It's bad. But anyway, all that to say, thank you so much for subscribing and watching, and it's really fun. It kind of becomes a little crazy when you try to get everything ready, and that's why this time I didn't have all the patterns. I like to have the patterns to show you, and I didn't this time, but because I have 3,000 subscribers, and because I haven't finished the project roll, so that'll be done in January. I'm not even going to promise it anymore. Because I just have not had time to sit down to my sewing machine. I got 3 more quilts today, and it's time to cut it off. I think but then there's people that I know really well, and they're like, can't you just fit it in? And you're like, okay. Which brings up another subject. I have had questions from people asking if they can send me their quilts. At this point, I had a couple specific people that I was going to answer directly, and I could not find their. Sometimes it's hard to find the comments once you go back, especially if you don't remember their name. Then it's like, well, I don't remember who made this comment. But anyway, at this point, I have kind of all the customers that I kind of want to cap it. However, if you'll get back with me, say January or February, when I have a little more time. The problem with sending quilts is, let's say the batting isn't big enough, or let's say the backing isn't big enough, or whatever. Then it's like, I've got to try to long distance get more, or, it just becomes an extra step. And I will do that. I've done quilts for people and mailed them back to them. So just at this point, let me just say, get back with me. And the easiest way is to message me through Instagram. And I'm CBW Quilts on Instagram. So message me on Instagram, and, I can get your email, and we can, talk further on email. But all that to say, thank you for 3,000 subscribers. And because of that, I'm going to give away a pattern. This is the new Brenda Gervais Winter in Baltimore. So let's see, what kind of question should I ask? Do you still believe in Santa? Everybody in my family still believes in Santa. My kids, when they tried to say, I don't know about this whole Santa thing, I said, do you get presents from him? Yeah. You better keep believing. So, I believe, and they believe. So tell me if you still believe. So all that for now, and have a great rest of November, and hopefully I'll be back, tour my little abode, and show you my Christmas decorations. So have a good one. Take care. Love you. Bye.